Hello and welcome to today's video, and this time we'll be having a look around the Zardoz book fair. So we see the white horse in the background there, and this is in Wiltshire, and it's at Morris's warehouse and £1 a book retail store. And 8th of September 2024, this is the first time we've tried one here, and just as you come inside the door you see my selection of vintage Penguin books. So the day before I'd been at the Penguin Collectors AGM and book swap meet. That was in Exeter, and anything that I hadn't moved along, these are all my doubles, my better condition books, anything I'd not moved along that day I brought along with me pretty much. And a lot of these books you see there actually did end up selling. The Beatles, the Puffins and what have you did sell quite a bit. Catcher in the Rye also sold, and a nice little wedge, once again a box or two of the main series Penguin stock, which is what you see there. So I brought along, all the doubles that I've had sorted up to this point. I've still got lots more to get done. Some nice job lots there, which surprisingly I sold the Quatermass one, but I didn't sell the others. So there you go. A few Puffin books and what have you. And I got in early specifically to set up and then take the chance to actually film what I could before people started coming in. So this is Morris's other sort of more general Penguin stock. Once again, everything £1 a book that you can see here, which isn't bad at all. You're not really going to go far wrong at £1 a book. It just depends how picky you want to be with regards condition, really. But all around the walls, this is Morris's regular stock, and basically Morris he's got a big warehouse, in fact warehouse and a half really, which is full of his stock that he shares on the internet, and that's on various sites. I think he does it on eBay. Obviously he's got his own website and a few others, so they're cross-posted, and stuff which he's got in large quantity or is slightly lower grade, so he doesn't want to list it online, that ends up in here. And it's a nice little setup because you don't need to be at a book fair. You can just turn up at this retail premises and pick up all these books for £1. And if you're an actual reader rather than a collector, you're going to be doing very, very well indeed, because the place is absolutely rammed. Although come the end of it, we'd certainly moved an awful lot of books. There were people bringing out piles, armloads of books at a time. Now there was a small sort of island in the middle of the shop, and these books were £3 each or two for £5. Which is these ones here. We do have a little look through these now. I saw the copy of Get Carter there with a movie tie-in. An absolute classic. It was a bit on the lower grade side, and as you'll see, it was a reprint. It was like a fourth print, so I didn't bother with that one, although for a couple of £1, if you didn't have a copy and were looking for it, that would be a very nice placeholder. Certainly a nice copy to read. The book is excellent. Some early Panthers and that there, and I have to say, ordinarily I would have been whipping out my wants list and seeing if I needed any of those early Panther science fiction, but on the back of the Penguin Collectors show the day before, and there was a lot of unloading, loading, a lot of driving involved. I was just so worn out by the time of Morris's show. I didn't really have it in me to do loads of checking up of stuff. I bought some books, absolutely, but I just I think I have sort of penciled in a date to visit Morris before Christmas, before the end of the year, and have spend a really good day there having a proper look around all the stock. So that is the plan. That was quite nice. That was a Spike Milligan box set, one I think I've got, but the spine is completely faded, and I am pulling box sets together at the moment. I'm going to share what I've got towards the end of this month, predominantly Penguin, but I've got some other publishers' box sets as well, because I think they're quite fun to collect, although they do take up a lot of room. But still great fun. Some early like Hank Jackson's there, and old Badger Western, all sorts in here, absolutely all sorts. Really nice early pocket stuff, and I was really surprised to see these in the cheap £2 a book section. But how many people in the UK collect American pockets? These were very unusual. Anyone know much about these? Like a bear pocket book. So they're oblong formats, similar to the services editions in America. I don't remember thinking, well, in fact, I've never seen those before. So, yeah, what's going on there, I don't know, but I thought they were really interesting. So I'm glad we caught those on film. There's a few more from that box. Yeah, these were quite good. Once again, he had quite a run of Cherry Tree stuff, and I actually really like that publisher. So next time I go to Morris's, I shall be bringing my list along to see if there's a few I can pick up. I particularly like those ones there. They're really easy to get, but I do like Cherry Tree. That looked like a Guild Services edition around the back there. Once again, I've touched it, but I completely didn't take in what I was looking at. That was quite nice. I picked that one up. One of the Hutchinson Crime Society books. I'm pleased to get that. But so much to look at, just incredible, really. It's hard to take it all in when you're like surrounded, swimming in it, you could say. That looks like a Francis Phillips cover, a New English Library, but it had been trimmed, that one, so in the end I popped it back into the box because it had been slightly trimmed. A Swamp Girl there. Great stuff. And once again, there's some nice stuff in here that was reasonably priced. Even some Agatha Christie pans and that. I mean, £2 a go. You can't go wrong, really, can you? You cannot go wrong. SF Masterworks, Philip K. Dick, all right there. Yeah, maybe they've been remaindered. They're a bit more common, but still quite nice to see. And then some Buffalo Bill annuals. They were not £2.50. The annuals were a bit dearer, but still nice. And now we're back to some more of Morris's £1 a book stock. You will notice that it is predominantly science fiction and fantasy, although Morris said he is indeed moving into more general fiction in here. I think if he can get it and the price is right, well, why not? But he's always been known for his science fiction and fantasy stock. But it's all hot these days, isn't it? It's quite nice. Another nice New English Library, early one from 1971. One I didn't have, so I went back and got that one actually, because it was a slightly faded spine, but apart from that, it was mint on red. So I thought I'm having that one. And if you go through, and if you even if you're really strict and just pick out the stuff that's tip-top condition that Morris has put in there, because he's got multiple copies of it, you can do very, very well indeed. And even if you're a reseller, you could probably go down and do well off it, but if you're a collector, well, it's fill your boots time, really. There is so much to see. So by now in the day, because I said I got there very early, people had started turning up to shop, so they just waltzed on in and started shopping, because you can see there's so much to get through. There was quite a few viewers from the channel, some people I've met the day before at the Penguin Collectors Show. It was brilliant, lots of familiar faces. Sadly, Steve the Outlaw Bookseller, who was going to come along on the day, it was the day before he sets off to Paris to interview Michael Moorcock, which is amazing. So he naturally had his hands full getting the last bits and pieces organised for that. But if you're watching this one, Steve, you were missed. Let me just say that. Yeah, plenty of stuff. Really is fantastic. You got to say, it's fantastic. For the price, you just can't beat it. When you think even in a charity shop, most of these sorts of books would be like, well, if they stocked them, they'd be £1, £1.50, £2 for the bigger books. To just have everything here, and it's just £1 across the board, with a very few exceptions, you just can't go wrong. You'll never be short of something to read if you're just picking these up for reading copies. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, some great stuff here. Yeah, on an ordinary day, if I hadn't been lugging all the books and the day after a penguin show, I would have been filling my boots here and probably would have spent, like I did last time, about 30 quid. Easy. We were blessed with Justin Marriott coming along, the paperback fanatic himself. I think he lives reasonably close by, and he was able to get away on Sunday morning to come and say hello. I believe he left with a big pile, and we'd certainly like to do some more with Justin on the channel very soon, so look out for that. There's just a few things in the pipeline. Now, Morris said it was very much an experiment, this first one. We're just going to see, how it went, what the turnout would be, and it was very good. Even with just basically the 3 dealers plus Morris's warehouse available to look around. But we can definitely expand it, and just outside, potentially we could put a marquee up. So, and then we could have more dealers come down for the day. Talk about it being on a Sunday, and it's quite difficult to get around using public transport on a Sunday. So potentially a Saturday, or even a bank holiday possibly, although public transport once again is probably not going to be very good on a bank holiday, but certainly a Saturday was mooted as a few more people would be able to get along. So something to think about for the future. But I think the event did very well, and I'm certain it will be repeated. So if you missed this one, don't worry, but keep an eye on the channel, because Morris definitely has got plans to do another one. I think it was very, very successful. Yeah, lots of great stuff there. All different publishers. Some real vintage stuff gets included with this. It's not all 80s and 90s red copies. It is quite the variety, and that's why we like it. Yeah, some great stuff. I'm sure, like me, you'll think, oh God, why didn't I pick that up? Why didn't I pick this up? And that's just the way with these videos. You see stuff when you play it back that you just completely forgotten. It happens at every single show I go to. Every single show without fail. You see stuff on the video that you just didn't see or didn't take in at the time. And it's very frustrating. But that's just how it goes. But yes, really starting to fill up now. So I was rapidly trying to get around the rest of it as quickly as I could. I believe at this point Bob was Dorset Bob was setting up. There's some pulps and stuff. There's some comics in there. I had half a bookcase of doll books, which we'll see in a second. American comic books, some British ones. There's the doll books. Now, obviously, as I said, this is only his overflow and lower grade books. You'll see some there that are, got the famous faded spine. They're not even yellow anymore. They've gone to white. But that is why they're only £1 a book, And certainly good enough as fillers. Lots of penguin related memorabilia dotted around, tea towels and what have you. We like all the memorabilia. Nice bookends there. Yeah, excellent stuff. And mugs and what have you. Now, this is from Dorset Bob. Now, Bob had been very lucky and been able to buy a Corgi, vintage Corgi collection. Now, if you have a look at these, you'll see there's some doubles and some of them even trebles, and he suspects that potentially this is someone who was connected with Corgi. Maybe they worked for them in some capacity, which is why the books are doubled or even trebled. And once again, in most cases I would have gone through with my list and picked out a few because they're not expensive. I thought the prices were very reasonable indeed. I am seeing Bob in a couple of weeks. We're off to the Innsmouth Literary Festival, which should be really interesting. Innsmouth's up in Bedford, so we're going to go up to that one together, and I should have an opportunity to go through Bob's Corgi stock at that point, and I'll have my list in front of me then, and I'll grab a few because these are great. I just literally wasn't in the book buying zone really after the day before. I'd bought so much, and I bought so many books with me to sell, so I was more looking to get shot of books rather than buy them. This is more of a Dorset Bob. We had this fantastic Doc Savage artwork there. Some of those pieces were signed as well, which is amazing, and just a hint of his more regular stock. Don't forget, Dorset Bob does the paperback bags. You can buy them direct from him. Mr. Book 451 at outlook.com. £9.95 for 100. Postage is £2, even if you buy a couple of hundred. So there they are, the BCW paperback bags. And by now, everyone's set up, and people are coming and going, and it's starting to get busy now. This was great. So this is one of the viewers of the channel, James, and he'd brought down these Argentinian penguins to me. Now, I had picked one up yesterday at the Penguin Collectors Show, but this is James works partly some of the time in Buenos Aires, so he's in the right place to go looking for Argentinian penguin books. And aren't they fantastic? They're slightly bigger than regular books, regular paperbacks, but I think they're fascinating really. And now that I've got the one, I've sort of got the bug to try and find some more. You can find them on eBay Argentina, but the postage is the thing. It's just so expensive to send over to the UK, but very, very nice to see them. And I particularly like the way all the spines, the penguin on the spines is different. Thank you very much for bringing this in, James. That's fantastic. And yeah, as I said, getting busy. People filling up with their books. Free parking outside, so it was really easy to rock up and just get shopping. And there was it was from about 10:30 to about 4ish, and it was pretty steady all day. Morris has started doing a bit of vinyl now. I saw a few bits of that go out the door. And then all of this stuff is all £1 a book. So you really, really cannot go wrong, can you? It's just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, Morris is going to be at the London Paperback Show. At the Bedford, it's at the Holiday Inn, Coram Street in Bloomsbury. That's on November the 23rd or 24th, I believe. And he'll be taking along a selection of stock for that one. Dorset Bob, of course, will be at that one, as will I. I won't be having a stall. I'll just be going along to help out Bob and film the event. I will also be going to the event the month before at the same location. I'm going to be filming the Rare First Editions and Photography Fair. So if you're going to that one and you spot me around, do come and say hello. So I should be off to London a couple of times in the next couple of months. And I shall definitely be filming both events in detail, which is fantastic. These are all Morris's pan overstocks, and absolutely incredible really, but his actual proper pan stock is extensive. He really has got a lot. So if there's any pans you're missing, they are listed on his website. Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff, as you can see. And the whole place as well, it's filled with like bits of memorabilia, original artwork, posters. Comic book artwork. It's really fantastic, and there's always something to have a look at when you're around there. Comic book artwork. I don't know where Saber King of the Jungle was from, but looks like an impressive bit of artwork, that. Very, very nice indeed. So I would definitely say that the show was a success. I think if he could get it under a marquee, so that the retail store could be almost like separate and the dealers in a separate area as well, I think that's probably the way to go. And that beautiful piece of Goodbye Mr. Shaft, original cover artwork there. How fantastic is that? Absolutely amazing. And there we are, as you can see, starting to get really, really busy now, which is great. It was a good, fun show, and we'll have a look at my pickups in a moment. But this is what my friend Andy picked up. So Andy took a trip down to the warehouse with Sven Hassel in mind, and he picked up 7 Sven Hassels, all different. And that's exactly what he was looking for. And those 7 books were £20, which was a very good price. A very good deal indeed. Okay, so time for a quick look through the pickups that I got at the Zardoz book fair. Now, I really went along desperately trying not to pick up too many books, because I've been trying to shift books, and this was the very next day after the Penguin Collectors show, of which I did pick up quite a bit of stuff at that one. So I was trying to be good, but you know how it is. Now, first of all, I had these two. Now, these were from Dorset Bob. So Bob had a great collection of penguins in recently, and they were predominantly crime, but there was a few sort of main series ones. And this one here, Dr. Sericold, Penguin Main Series 22, was on my list of ones that I wanted to upgrade. Now, it's in a dust wrapper, which has admittedly got a faded spine and the tear up there, but underneath the book is absolutely minters. So I'm going to be swapping my copy of that one round. And he's also picked up an old badger that I wanted in reasonable condition here, Supernatural number 91, which is a later one, but it's one that I haven't got, so I was pleased to get that. Now, in Morris's £1 section, there was, well, as you've seen in the video, many things to tempt. However, I was pleased to get this one because this, I know I haven't got it because of the title here, Cardoony. I know I haven't got it because I would have remembered that title, that Andrew Sutar. So it's it's a Crime Book Society one, number 19, and these don't really turn up very often, so I was really pleased to get this for just £1. It's got this wave in it, so I'm going to need to get that sort of flattened out to try and get the wave out of it, but that was cool. I then picked up a very nice A. Van Vogt. It's a New English Library. It's the first printing, this one. This is from 1975. It has, once again, it's got a faded spine, but apart from that, it's really tip-top shape. So I've actually just, this is fine. For £1, this is one that's going in my collection. I haven't got this one More Than Superhuman. So it's going to be a nice little addition. I just love these New English Library books when they're in this sort of condition. They're really great. Also New English Library, and I believe this is the last of the 3 Ed McBains that they had the rights for, because they were mainly being published by Pan in the 1970s. But they had a few late 60s, early 70s that were not published by Pan, that were at Foursquare and into New English Library. So look at the date on this one. Yeah, 1968. I definitely haven't got this one. I've got Crime Squad, and I think I've got See Them Die. So this was the missing link, as it were. So yes, pleased to get that. Now, I also got, and this sort of ties in with something that I've got coming up quite soon, which is Penguin box sets. So I spotted this one at Morris's Warehouse, and these were, I think it was £3. Now, I've got this one already. I'm sure it is this one, but because of the red spine, my spine is completely faded. So I was really pleased to get this Spike Milligan one, and it's got inside 5 Spike Milligan books, which I'm sure you've all seen these around very often. Generally speaking, box sets were filled with reprints. I think this is the rare one. In first edition, it's quite scarce, this. I don't know what printing is in the books set here. Yeah, so the first print was 1971, and it reprinted 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This is the 5th printing of that one. That one in first print is scarce. Silly Verse for kids, and Puccoon, which was another big seller for his. But as I said, I've got this box set already, but mine is nowhere near as nice condition. So I'm going to have this one instead. and I'll give it a clean because it's a little bit dusty and what have you. And then completely out of the blue, Morris said, "Oh, you want one of these?" Because he knew I'd been picking up box sets, and he came across this misread one. Now, you know, I would ordinarily balk at the thought of a misread book. Which is not really my bag here, but once again, it was a box set. It was only a couple of pounds. I think this one is sort of towards the late 70s, may even be 1980. But we'll have a look. 70p. So let's see. Well, this one's dated 77, so we'll have a look as we go by. So it's a little bit after my traditional period of picking these up. This is 77 as well. Looking like it could be 77 for this box set. Yeah, 77. And the original, yeah, 77. So a 70s box set. It will go with my box set collection. I've got quite a few Penguin ones now, and there's a few that I'm still trying to track down at a reasonable price. Some of them are really expensive. Other ones, like these, £2. That's the price I like to pay for them, because they do take up a lot of room, and they're generally not first printings. But that was actually a pretty nice shape, in actual fact. And look out for a video on my box set collection, such as it is, quite soon, because there's a fair few out there which I've now got. So I'm going to put them all together into a video. But yeah, I didn't do too badly. I resisted the temptation, because you know what it's like when you go to Morris. You got 20 quid in your pocket, you come out with a carrier bag, you know. But yeah, next time Morris does a trip, you can visit the retail shop anytime you like. Just turn up. I just check online. I don't believe they're generally open on Sunday, but they are definitely open during the week. And 99% of the books are just £1 each. She's got vinyl in there as well, and there's comic books. There's always plenty to see. Viewing of the warehouse is by appointment, I would say. Contact Morris first and see if he's going to be around to take you down there, because once again, quite the eye-opener if you've never been around it before. If you haven't and you're interested, just take a look at some of the old videos on the channel where I've gone around with Steve the Outlaw Bookseller, and you will see some amazing stuff from Morris's warehouse. But anyway, that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed looking through what happened on the day and my little pickups there. And it really was a great fun day. So thanks to everybody who came along, said hello, said they viewed the channel. It was brilliant meeting so many people. And thanks to everyone who bought a few old Penguin books from my stock. Once again, happy to see them go off to new collectors. If you've enjoyed today's video, do please give it that thumbs up. Do please hit the subscribe button if you've not already for regular vintage paperback content. And I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.